Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's yours truly, the Ace, back with another Behind the Teens video, episode 10. We are in episode double digits, and in today's episode, we are talking about the New Orleans Saints. And I got one of my homies with me, long time guy that we play in fantasy football together. What up, Justin? How you living?
Living good, bro. Hope everybody's well, man. What's going on?
Man, just another day on the channel, man. Before we get started, gotta salute Justin, who champion of fantasy football last year, man. Congratulations to you. The championship ring is coming here. I got to inspect it. Then I'll be sending it out to you, man. And hopefully you'll be able to rock it in time for the draft, man. You killed it last year, man. So salute to you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. So like I said, we're talking about the New Orleans Saints. Justin is a big Saints fan. So what were your thoughts on the 2022 season?
Honestly, man, if I could just put it in one word, it's disappointing. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, because you guys finished at in a weak division nonetheless. You guys ended up finishing, I believe, 7-10 is what I'm looking at. Yeah, 7-10, third place, a three-way tie for last place, but due to division records and stuff like that, you guys ended up finishing a third, so you get a third place schedule overall. So what did you like? It was disappointing, but what did you kind of expect going into last year? What did you think was going to happen?
So honestly, I mean, I like to think I'm realistic, but obviously, a little bit of Saints bias comes in every now and then. But realistically, when I went into the season, I was like, you know what, Andy Dalton's our starter. I was like, you know what, that's a game manager. You ain't expecting that man to win you games. You're just not expecting him to lose you games. But I mean, the season, the defense played out the way I thought it would. I mean, the Saints have had a pretty consistent defense over the last few years when it comes to just being able to have talent in that roster, whether it comes from veterans or breakout players. But the issue was always on the offense. So, I mean, it doesn't matter how good your defense is if you're 3 and out and then you give the ball right back. So it was just really difficult to watch that offense just not click at all.
Yeah. And I can imagine as a Saints fan, you probably had a frustrating year, especially with Michael Thomas again. Pretty much, you can't rely on the dude at all. Like I saw some videos of him in camp where he was running routes and they're like, somebody was joking. They were like, there goes Michael Thomas running slants again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all he can do and shit like that. And then now this year with the Kamara shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's the thing about Mike. I mean, I don't know if you remember last season when he started out, I think the first 2 weeks he had back-to-back touchdown performances and he looked like he was back. And all of a sudden everybody was like, oh, is he back? Is he back? And then he misses the whole season. And it's just like, at this point, as a Saints fan, realistically, I'm not even asking for him to be the all-pro guy. I'm not even asking for him to be WR1. Chris Olave to me is, young, growing. At this point with Michael Thomas, it's one of those like, man, we'll take whatever you can give us, bro. Like, it's just frustrating to watch because, like you said, you watch those videos and you're like, man, that's cool that you're running without pads on, but can't show me that on week 10.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. Kamara, I think we addressed it like to kind of cushion that blow. To be honest with you, even as a Saints fan, I'm surprised that it was only 3 games.
Yeah. Well, you guys got Jamal Williams as well. So, now the thing that was confusing about you guys last year, it's like, what are you doing with Taysom Hill? Either like, it's like they want to incorporate him so badly. And it's just, I just don't think he's a quarterback, but he's more of a gadget guy. But it's kind of obvious where every time he's in the game, he's going to get the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And I think that's something that like the offense needs to really look into is incorporating him into some plays. Like, I feel like every time he came in, everyone knew what was about to happen. Everyone knew it was going to be a power run. Taysom's going to lower his head, whatever. Like, you weren't fooling anybody. So you got to get creative with that play call. I mean, we've seen gadget players all the time. We've seen, I don't want to say trick plays, but when you have players like that, you got to utilize their skill set. And I think that they did that poorly last year. I mean, I'm not saying the dude's got to go out there every single play, but when you're out there, like, even if you bring him out as a decoy every now and then, you can't just bring him out and be like, oh, we're going to hand him the ball off. Everyone knows you're going to hand him the ball off.
Yeah, and very seldom he threw, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not the threat of the pass, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of obvious, and that's something that you guys are definitely gonna have to switch up on. But going into the off season, let's talk about, what do you feel like was the Saints' biggest need going into the off season, and do you feel like they accomplished it via the draft and via free agency?
Well, the biggest thing, and it's it's kind of funny because, obviously everybody knows that, the defense had some turnover in the defensive line and everything. But for me, I mean, the defensive group as in general, they did well last season. I mean, they had their moments and stuff, but as a whole, I can't be upset at them. For me, it was offense. And I mean, obviously offense starts with the quarterback. To me, the rotating carousel, I feel like we've been kind of trying to fill an empty hole ever since Drew Brees left. Whether we talk about Jameis, whether we talk about the Taysom run, whether we talk about Andy, whether we talk about like anybody that you bring in, it was like we've been playing musical quarterbacks for
That's a good way to put it. That is a real great way to put it.
Yeah. And now with Derek Carr, it's like I'm not sitting here saying the man's gonna be, automatic, MVP, 5,000-yard man, but at the end of the day, it's pretty hard to say that Derek Carr is not the best option we've had since Drew Brees. That's pretty easy to say that is the best we've gotten so far.
Yeah. Derek Carr makes me a little nervous for you guys, though, because like he had way more weapons in Las Vegas / Oakland, you know what I'm saying? And he just couldn't get it done. Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, I'm glad he's now a Giant. And it just seemed like he had more weapons than what you guys are offering. I understand Chris Olave is, on the rise and stuff like that. But it's just like you had Devontae Adams, who was the best receiver in the league. So you had Darren Waller, who's a top 5 tight end. You know what I'm saying? You had Josh Jacobs as well, and he struggled. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we'll see what he can do in a new system. But like I agree with you, he's better than what you've had.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't really, obviously we're not going to say, well, he didn't have a supporting cast because he definitely did in Oakland. Yeah. As far as weapons will go, I mean, I know defensively he didn't have a team to really hold it down for him. I know there was a lot of issues in the, front office and coaching staffs and everything, but it's one of those things where it's like, look, it's a fresh start. You left. People said you handled it with class and everything, but you don't want to be in a Russell situation. I don't know if you remember when Russell was like, dogging the Seahawks, left, goes to Denver, and it's like, bro, they're doing better than you without you. Like that's what you don't want. So hopefully he, comes in, does his thing. I mean, he looks good in camp, but hell, everybody looks good in camp.
Yeah, everybody looks good with those pads on, stuff like that. Right. So, I mean, but at the same time, too, we won't really get a good look because, you guys are going against Kansas City this week. But he'll probably only play like maybe one down, you know what I'm saying? One series, you know what I'm saying? Like, I doubt they'll put him out there for long, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, DA said he's going to play his starters because it's like a new core, so he wants them to, get mesh and everything, but you don't want to see your starters out there,
Yeah.
Have to.
Exactly. Also, you guys re-signed a Saints favorite, Jimmy Graham.
Yeah. So. I'm, it's funny because I still have his jersey somewhere. It's an old Reebok one too, as how throwback that was. But he, it's good to see him come home and everything. I was really upset when he left in the first place, but I mean, I understood the nature of the business. Coming back now, it's like, look, man, you're a mentor. But you're also 6'7", bro. So if you can snag one of them this season for me, man. I'm not asking you to be the starter. I'm not asking you to be a Pro Bowler, man. Just I want to see one play where I'm like, oh man, I missed that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Do you think this is the last year?
Honestly, I think it depends on this year, really. I mean, he had a year off. I mean, he just coming back in. I mean, he hasn't really been the same player, which is fair to say. I mean, he's definitely on like the final Twilight Tour type stuff. So it could be very well. I mean, I'm glad they brought him in just because, our starting tight end is Juwan Johnson, who had a quietly good season last year, but the guy's young. Yeah. So it's cool to learn from like a veteran who's been in the leagues, done it, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I had picked him up in fantasy last year where I was just like, he was either boom or bust. He had good games where he had a touchdown and he would get like double-digit points, or he would get like 2. And correct. I'm just like, dude, like, come on, bro. You're killing me. But, that's the nature of the game. Like, it's a big drop-off between tight ends in the league. Like, that's why I'm glad, Giants got one. And, they're hard to come by because it's like you have the top 4 and then there's a huge drop-off between the rest.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man. So that was pretty much y'all offseason. They're saying Derek Carr was the big name. You guys had the draft overall. I actually like that guy that you guys got, Brian Breesy, the D tackle from Clemson. I feel like Clemson guys are really good, and hopefully he can ramp up your defensive line. Have you heard anything as far as camp wise of how he's doing?
Cap wise, I mean, he's the big word that pops out for him so far has been explosive. Obviously,
Mhm.
pads haven't been on yet, so it's a matter of like how much can you really gauge it. But he came in, he's been basically exploding off the seams. I mean, I know he got mentioned that he might be with the first team. He's been taking a lot of first team reps and then second team reps as well, but it's a whole new interior line for the Saints. Obviously, they lost Onyemata in free agency. They basically, that entire defensive line left in free agency, and I think the only person that came back was Malcolm Roach. Aside from that, they got two rotational players, one from the Jets, one from the Chiefs. So it's like, who's going to be the starter? And I feel like, yeah, if you're a first round pick and you're that guy, I mean, I'm hoping that you step into it, but I
Yeah.
understand it's also a learning curve.
Yeah. Well, you invested your first two picks in the D line, you know what I'm saying? D tackle and the edge rusher. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully those guys, the plan would be for those guys to grow together, you know what I'm saying? And eat off of each other and be able to, you know what I'm saying, have some chemistry and, hopefully it'll lead to a better line for you guys in a division where I think it's super weak. I just had John on the channel, you know what I'm saying? Like John, me and him were talking about, and he thinks like if Bryce Young has a quick, you know what I'm saying, like elevation, you know what I'm saying, that they could be on top for a while, you know what I'm saying? And it's just that division is just like somebody's got to win it, you know what I'm saying? And it's just a tough division. So a tough division because it's so bad, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and go into the schedule. But before we do that, what do you think what are your realistic expectations for the season? Like, what do you want to see going into 2023?
I mean, if I'm being 100 with you, and I've been saying it to all, like, it's always the barbershop talk, the talk with the fellas and everything. Like, my realistic expectation, honestly speaking, there shouldn't be a reason we don't win that division.
Yeah.
Realistically, that defense has there's too much star power, even if it's veteran, even if it's young, all these things. Like, there's too many pieces in place. I mean, you're talking what? Granted, nothing against Carolina's draft picks. I think he's going to have a good career and develop. But I mean, you're talking, unless he comes out of the gates
On fire, yeah.
Right, you're looking at that. You're looking at Desmond Ridder, who we still yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Tampa, who is basically post Tom Brady.
Yep.
So there shouldn't be a reason why the Saints shouldn't win that division. I think Vegas odds do have us as the favorite, not by much.
Yeah.
That's my expectations. Like, I'm going into this season like, look, NFC South, what I get in the playoffs, I could be hopeful, I can cheer it on, but like, I would be very disappointed if I hear that one of those other three teams outdid the Saints with all the talent we have on the roster.
Yeah, you guys definitely have the best quarterback in the division. Obviously, Bryce has the biggest future, but Baker Mayfield sucks. We don't know what kind of Baker Mayfield we're going to get week in and week out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at videos of him in camp, and he looks like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So you guys definitely have the best quarterback. Digressing a little bit, because I almost skipped this one. I'm glad I didn't. Who do you think needs to be your breakout player going into 2023 for the Saints to be able to win a division?
So, honestly, I'm gonna have to go with Rashid Shaheed.
Mm-hmm.
Rashid Shaheed was brought on board to replace Deontay Hardy as the kick returner on the team. Last year, he got a handoff, housed it for a touchdown. Like, basically, his first two touches, touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, "Who is this guy? What is this? Oh my God, pick him up on the waiver wire." All this crazy shit. And it's like, now he's getting polished into like these like running routes, being part of the offense. And it's like, well, this dude's undrafted. He was coming in as a kick returner, and now he's one of our top three receivers.
Yeah.
So my thought process is for that to really click. I mean, Olave is going to come in and do what he does. I mean, that's my expectation of him. Whatever I get from Michael Thomas is whatever I get from Michael Thomas. But at the end of the day, that offense needs to click. And it clicks more and more when you have those viable options that you can find, those targets. And Rashid Shaheed being that home run threat, that excitement, big, 60-yard play, whatever, that goes huge for me. So he's having a really good camp. He looks faster. Hopefully for me, that's the guy.
Yeah. Okay. For me, for you guys, it's Chris Olave. And I like Taquan Smith. I actually do like. I think he can be explosive at times, but like with Chris Olave, he needs to go ahead and solidify. Like you said, you'll get what you get from Michael Thomas, but Chris Olave this year needs to be able to solidify himself as your true number one because you can't count on Michael Thomas. So I feel like he needs to have a good year. Also, with your secondary, I'm looking at what's the dude? Lattimore?
Marshawn Lattimore?
Marshawn Lattimore, yeah, like he has a chance because there's not a lot of good receivers in that division either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can shut some guys down. Not saying like, he's already arrived, but he needs to definitely stand out again this year and become that lockdown as always. What do you think about that?
Oh, I 100% agree. I feel like his name, he's one of those guys where like, he's solid. He's good. Everybody's like, oh yeah, Lattimore, but he's not, you don't really talk about him amongst the upper echelon. He's always, I'd say, maybe around that top 10 conversation kind of thing when it comes to that. I mean, I know, the top 100 players came out. I know he cracked it again. I mean, he's usually up there in like the 80s and so, but I agree. Like, I feel like in this, like you said, in this division, that's 3 times you're playing, between the Panthers, Falcons, and Bucks. I mean, you are going up against Mike Evans. You are going up against Drake London. But these guys are, if you're that guy, if you're that number one corner and you need to accept that challenge, I need that week in and week out.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does step into that. I mean, and that defense, I think it's shown too. When Lattimore is thriving, that defense is thriving.
Yeah. Yeah. Also too, the front end of it, Cam Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Like also can wreak some havoc as well. He's a guy that kind of goes underrated, but can make some noise as well. Like, cause he's not like same thing with Lattimore. He's not one of those top echelon names, but he can still get it done. You know what I'm saying? On the front end. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and go into the schedule for this year. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna get your takes on it. So obviously you guys start off preseason this week. You're not going to expect too much from the preseason, but so we'll go ahead and skip right to the regular season. First week 1 at home versus Tennessee Titans. You got that as a W or a loss?
I think we get that one.
You get that one?
Yep.
D-Hop is there. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Tannehill isn't really scary. You know what I'm saying? So Derrick Henry is, though. You kind of got to shut him down. You know what I'm saying? You got to shut him down. All right. Week 2, division, right out the gate. Second week at Carolina. Who you got?
I think we pull that one off as well.
It kind of needs to be. Yeah, you kind of got to start it off right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to start off.
Then you travel to Lambeau after that, week 3, versus a kind of still trying to find. We don't know what to expect from Jordan Love and company outside of, post Aaron Rodgers. But what do you think about this?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's going to be a close one, honestly, because, I mean, that defense is still pretty solid. They still have playmakers. I mean, like you said, we don't know what we're getting in the quarterback position, but I would still give us a win on this one. So we're starting off
3-0. So, and then you head to Tampa at you head back home versus Tampa.
So that one, I think we're going to drop that one.
You're going to drop that one? Okay, that's interesting. That is an interesting one. Okay, then you head to Foxborough to face the Patriots.
Yeah, we'll take that one.
You'll take that one. So that'll put you at 4-1. All right. So then at home versus the Texans. So you're going against both of the top young quarterbacks from this past draft. So Bryce, CJ Stroud will be this one.
So with the veteran leadership, primarily on the defense, that's my big thing. Like our defense, I expect us to really continue to be our strength.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm really hoping that our offense just comes in and just, converts third downs and gets it moving. But I think we get a win on this one.
Okay, so that puts y'all 5-1 out the gate. Jacksonville Jaguars, who they're a solid team and they're really good.
So what's funny about this game is I'm actually going to go watch.
Okay.
So I'm going to drive down to New Orleans Thursday Night Football and watch the Jaguars versus the Saints. And, it kills me. But, I mean, being real, Trevor Lawrence is taking that step that's looking good. So I think we drop that one.
Okay. Then you're going at Indianapolis, which they're lost. They're going to be a bottom-dwelling team this year.
Yeah, I think we pull that one.
Okay. Y'all better pull that one. You can't lose that game because, they might not even have Jonathan Taylor then. You know what I'm saying? So then you had it, and my surprise team of this year is the Bears. I think they're going to be a lot better than what they were last year because, in my Bears video, I'm a big fan of Ryan Poles and what they're going through over there. And I think Justin Fields might have to take that leap. But what do you have this game at?
Yeah, no, I agree. And the thing about the Bears is, You got Fields, you got DJ Moore that they brought on. I honestly, I think we would. I think it'll be a fight, but I think we would lose that one.
Okay, so that puts you already at 6-3. Got you. All right, at Minnesota.
It's not the playoffs, so we're winning that.
And it's not prime time, so yeah.
Right.
So that puts you at 7-3. So then you hit the bye week, and you come off the bye week right back into the division at Atlanta.
We're taking them.
Okay, yeah, you need to take that game, yeah. Then Detroit, who's
Detroit.
Probably gonna be pretty good this year. Yeah, they could probably be pretty good this year.
I love Detroit, and honestly, I think we dropped that one.
Okay, I can see Detroit winning that division. I'm not gonna lie, because
Same here.
So, and it's not out of the realm. It's not a bad take. You know what I'm saying? Because Green Bay's going down. You can't rely on Kirk Cousins. You know what I'm saying? Even though Minnesota's done some good things, I look forward to making those videos. I look forward to bringing a Lions fan on here. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna look up a Lions fan to bring on here. Then you're going back against Carolina at home this time. Who you got?
Oh, we'll take that one.
You'll take that one. All right, so that already puts you at 9-4. All right, New York Giants. I'm penciling that in for a loss for y'all.
Oh, so listen. So I know I'm gonna be messaging you during that game.
Oh, that's fine. No. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be live streaming. So bring your ass in the live stream.
All right. So here's the thing, and here's what upsets me though. Last time we played, it was a Saquon Barkley show. Mm-hmm. He was back. He ran like
we won it in overtime.
Y'all did. Mm-hmm. We owe y'all. We coming for that.
That's good. So you saying 10?
Yep.
All right. When I do mine, I got us beating y'all. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see who's gonna prevail. Like I said, I'll be live in the stream for everybody that follows the Ace Avenue. I'll be calling the stream, so make sure you come in and talk your shit, man.
All right, most definitely.
All right, at the Rams. The Rams are a hard team to judge because we both know the only reason they weren't successful last year is because everybody got injured.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what Rams team are we really going to see this year?
Honestly, man, at SoFi, you got, just like I say, we got these like leaderships and all stuff. They got Donald. They got guys back there. I'm going to go with them.
Yep. Yeah. Cooper Kupp, McVay, you know what I'm saying? He was talking about not coming back and, stuff like that. Then y'all going to end the last two games with division. So then you're at Buccaneers.
So I think we finally get, like I said, I think we're going to split with the Bucks.
Okay.
So I think we go 1-1. So I think earlier I said we lose to the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we take this one and split 1-1 with them for the season.
Okay. So that puts you at 11-5. So then what do you got with the Falcons?
I think at 11-5, we'll probably try to push, and I think the Falcons will eke out one as well. So I think we end the season on a loss.
Oh, so 11-6. As a matter of fact, let me look up y'all strength of schedule because I always do this too.
Yeah, we got a cupcake. From what I heard, we got a cupcake schedule. It wouldn't surprise me if we go anywhere higher, but trying to keep it grounded and realistic. And you also got to account some of those games. We're gonna win a game we got no business winning, and we're gonna lose a game we got no business.
Of course, that's how it always is. Oh yeah, strength of schedule. You guys got 31st.
Right. We got
the second easiest schedule. That's where the Giants were last year. And the easiest schedule was the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? That's where the Eagles were last year. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens with the new rules of, you know what I'm saying, you play, since you guys finished in third place, technically, you play a third place schedule this year, meaning that the games that aren't division and aren't the other divisions that are open, you're playing third place teams. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You know what I'm saying? One of them is the Giants, you know what I'm saying, is the third place team because you're not facing anybody else in the NFC East. So that's us. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? We can still see what happens. I'm just excited to get football back, man. I cannot wait. And the fantasy draft is going to be epic as always, which we'll be bringing live to you on this channel. We'll see if Justin can go back to back. So
try, but the competition's kind of fierce out there, man.
Yeah, we're gonna see, and especially it's live. The pressure of being live is on there during the draft. Like people might start panicking. So, is there any Saints that you want to take? You know what I'm saying? Anybody in fantasy, you're like, yo, I got to take this Saint.
Now, man, what happens if you get in front of me, man? I can't be sharing my secrets like that, man.
Oh, that's a smart move because I've gotten a couple people that are in the league to divulge who they're gonna take, and I'm like, okay, I'm noting that down. So, but it's like I said, there's a couple of Giants. I'm like, I'm not letting anybody know anything. So. We'll see what happens. But look, man, I appreciate you for coming on, man. Is there anything you want to say to the people as far as what you got going on, where they can find you at? Let them know.
Oh man, no, nothing at all, man. Everybody, just be blessed. Thanks for having me, man. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a good season. I'm just glad football's back, man. Like it's been too long, way too long.
Okay, so I gotta ask you, is that a shoe collection behind you?
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, you already
Yeah,
know.
let me take a quick look at it because I got a lot of sneakerheads that follow the channel too.
Oh
So
yeah. All right. Well, I give you two real quick.
uh-huh.
So we got the Fragment one, Travis Scott's.
Okay.
And these are, I haven't worn these yet, but these are I'm waiting for Christmas for these, man. I'm gonna wear these for Christmas, man.
Uh-huh.
But I had to get the Grinches. Kobe.
Which ones are you wearing to the Saints game?
So usually when it comes to that, I'm usually rocking like the ones. I mean, the ones is just a classic look anyway. So I mean, I got a number of different kinds of ones. But right now, I've been wearing the absolute mess out of my Chicago ones.
Got you.
So I've just been wearing those a lot. So.
Yeah, it look fresh. So which ones you gonna wear when the Giants be whooping our ass? Which ones you gonna wear?
Oh man, probably slides, man.
Yeah, because we're gonna slide through over there and whoop y'all ass, and that's gonna be. So
we owe y'all one, man. Yeah, we coming. We owe y'all one.
Nah, it's always tough when we play y'all because like I remember vividly, like we played y'all. One of the games was a shootout. The very next year, it was a low scoring game, and then this last time we were down a lot, and we came back and won that game. And that was a turning point for the Giants. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I was hurt, man. And that's the thing. Like, and the crazy thing about it too is like. For me, like Danny Dimes is just unknown, man. Like I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, is this man gonna have like an off game, or is he about to run all over the place? Because the guy can move.
We're gonna see. I know Darren Waller's gonna want to win this matchup because he's going against his former quarterback too. Derek Carr. He's gonna want to show out.
I think that's a great fit for y'all, man. Waller is. I think this is another season where Waller's gonna get back in that conversation of like those top tight ends, man.
He's always been in there. His injuries have kind of derailed him from that.
So. Right.
Yeah, man. But look, man, I appreciate you for coming on, man. I appreciate everybody for watching. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you hit that like and subscribe to the Ace Avenue. Channel memberships are now available. We got monetized last week. The channel's doing some big things. So, it's going to keep evolving. This is episode 10. We got a lot more to go, but we're going to get to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to knock them out before the end of the season, but I appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, bro. Be blessed.
Yeah, man. As always, guys, thank you for tuning into the Ace Avenue. I am yours, Shooter the Ace. Adios.